Okay, so my old man wanted me to do a review of this movie. So as some of you might know, I don't know how many of you do, but as of today, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is finally available on streaming platforms. It's available on Prime Video and Paramount Plus. So yeah, and we don't go to the theaters anymore to see movies and stuff like that because, too pricey and whatever. It's better just to stay at home. And so I finally watched this while my old man was at work. So yeah, and yeah, I'm just going to talk about it, talk about my thoughts, kind of summarize up the movie. This is going to be a spoiler review and whatever, but it's available on streaming now, so click away and go watch it first before you watch this. So yeah, so I just have for the video, I just have the two trailers, the official trailer for Sonic 2 and then the final trailer for Sonic 2 in a private playlist, and I'm just going to be looping the playlist as I talk about this. So let's just start at the beginning then. So at the end of the first film, the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, they defeated Eggman, quote unquote, and he's been sent to the Mushroom Planet, or whatever it's called, by Sonic's ring, and he shaved his head off, and he's using his hair as his mustache now, and yeah, and so that's why he looks the way he does, and that is where the second movie picks right back up. It picks right back up on that scene. And so what happens is Eggman kind of tries to get back onto, Earth to catch Sonic. And he uses Sonic's quill to kind of get contact with somebody who can throw a ring. And that's how he meets Knuckles. And they realize that they have the same, that Knuckles' goal is kind of related to Eggman's. Where there's apparently this emerald called the Master Emerald, which if you've played Sonic games, you know what that is. And so they both work together to try to get the emerald and defeat Sonic, since Eggman failed the first time. And that's basically the plot of this whole thing. So, alright, so into the movie itself, the first third feels literally almost an exact copy-paste of what the first film felt like. You know how the first film was basically that, oh, it's a little just fun road trip movie that takes place on Earth. It doesn't really have a plot, it just has a basic setting, it's not really an adventure. That's kind of what the whole first third of it is. It's kind of slow, but it has enough funny moments, at least for me personally, to keep it entertaining. There was one chase scene at the very beginning where Sonic was trying to stop some criminals or whatever, but of course he put the city in danger in the process of doing so. And then there's another little fishing scene or whatever where he's talking to his buddy Tom about saving the city, and he's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that because you put those people in danger, and the whole thing that Sonic has to learn to be a hero is responsibility and stuff. So yeah, just a bunch of cute stuff there. And then the movie really starts to get going once Tails and Knuckles, they both happen to encounter Sonic at the exact same time, just minutes apart. So Sonic is kind of home alone, and Eggman comes to the door. And obviously Sonic's you're not going to get my powers. He tries to kick his ass, and then he sees Knuckles, and Knuckles kicks his ass completely. And Tails runs over Knuckles with a police car, for some reason, if you can believe that. And that's how he saves Sonic. And Sonic's like, who the fuck are you? Obviously not a direct quote. It's a kid's movie. And Tails is like, no time to explain, get in the car. And then they drive off. And then that's the part where it's a third into the movie, and it's okay, finally, now we're going to get into the quest with these two. Sonic and Tails are going to race Knuckles and Eggman to the Emerald. Great. It didn't really it took a long time to get going, but again, it wasn't boring. There was a lot of just good stuff that happened throughout the scenes. So yeah, I don't even know where to go from here. So, I would say overall, the humor is pretty much similar to the first film. You can tell, especially in the first third, that this is done by this is a direct sequel. So if you're hoping So if you're like worried that, oh, this is catered way too much for more hardcore Sonic fans, which it kind of is, no, anybody could still easily enjoy this film, which is really nice. So I would say the humor is very on par with the first, which made it just as refreshing to watch, and having the plot line on top of that just made it more intriguing in my opinion. Especially with all the different events that happened, it like takes place in all these different areas since they have to keep going to all these different places to get the Master Emerald. The catch is that sometimes the film relies too heavily on its humor and random events happening rather than focusing on the main quest. It has so many random events that feel like they could be cut, even though they are funny, that the movie ends up going on for 2 hours, which is pretty long for a kid's movie. One specific scene that I think definitely could have been cut is the wedding scene, and honestly, that's the only scene I didn't like, mainly because it just didn't make sense at all in the context of Sonic and Tails getting captured. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I mean. As I was watching that scene, I'm like, what am I missing here? There's clearly something that I'm not getting, which was weird. Everything else, though, while it did feel like filler, was still funny and made sense. There was one scene where, if you remember from the first movie, Sonic and Tom went into that bar and played darts or whatever, and then Sonic like slowed time in order to escape the bar or whatever, or something like that, and then he sped out of there real fast. Something similar like that happens when the quest continues and they get into the snow region. Sonic and Tails go into like this snowy cabin pub, and it's full of all these mean guys and all that want to beat them up, just like the first movie or whatever. And so they disguise themselves to look like just people in heavy winter gear, since it's cold over there. And they have a dance fight in order to not get killed by the dudes. Which, that was a really entertaining scene to watch, and I approve of the music choice for that, even if the scene did feel a little bit long. Uptown, funk you up, uptown, funk... Okay, I'll stop. The plot itself of the film can be a bit predictable at times, but that doesn't make it not enjoyable to watch, and it does have its own twists here and there as well. And after the final battle in this film, just like the first film, there is also a post-credit scene, which... Whoopee! I'm excited for Sonic 3 now. I don't really know how to really review a movie, as you guys can tell by watching this. I'm trying really hard not to talk about every single scene. And yeah, the jokes were also predictable, yet still fun, aside from like one fart joke in the pub scene. Each of the characters as well, Tails and Knuckles, have like their own little backstories in the film too, which makes them feel more alive. And it kind of pieces together stuff that happened in the first movie that was a bit unanswered as well, especially the beginning with Sonic and Longclaw, the owl. So overall, yeah, fun movie, ties a lot of stuff together. It's got some downsides to it though, here and there, but those things are pretty easy to look past overall, I would say. So yeah, I am not going to give this film a score because I am already not good at reviewing films, and I also just don't want some dick skipping to the end of this video looking for the score and not actually watch the review. And yeah, this was like a 2-hour film, so I think I've talked about this enough, and I think I've had enough Jim Carrey for a long while because he had a lot of screen time in this film. Alright. Go watch it. Again, it's premiering like everywhere. It's streaming. So yeah, goodbye and get out of here.